Well, startling evidence in the Banking Royal Commission today suggesting the big banks got an easy ride from the country's top corporate cop when they did the wrong thing. The new boss of ASIC says he's determined to fix things, but didn't stick around to explain how.
If you're caught parking in the wrong place, you get a fine, no questions asked. But if you're a big bank ripping millions off Australian customers, well, you might just talk your way out of it.
We want to get an indication as to whether or not they will accept and pay the infringement notice.
Why do you do that, Mr. Shipton? The parking inspector doesn't seek an indication from the person he's giving a parking fine to as to whether they will accept and pay it.
But big banks got away with it. Voluntary enforceable undertakings, slaps on the wrist rather than court and big fines. And even when wrists were slapped, but the wrong continued, penalties were light. In the past 10 years, they were rarely dragged into court.
A handful of times.
Twice, is that right?
I believe twice.
The Royal Commission today heard how our corporate regulator ASIC dealt with two of our major banks, the National Australia Bank and the Commonwealth Bank, and in particular whether it was simply too slow as the cop on the beat to try and bring them to justice. While banks were cut slack, customers like Ballina farmer Neville Pollard were given no such treatment. The pensioner was lent $300,000 that he says he had no hope of repaying.
They have made an offer which is probably about a third of the interest that I've paid on the unsustainable loans.
Australia's top corporate cop, 12 months in the job, said he's determined to turn around the image of ASIC, but didn't help that image by not talking afterwards. Mr. Shipton, the corporate regulator, you're walking away and not really saying anything publicly here. What is it about the banks? Why have they been able to get away with it for so long? Ross Greenwood, 9 News.